In this video, I'll be reviewing all the cards from EB01 that is scheduled to be released in Asia next week. So all the effects will be on screen, and what I'll be doing is just reviewing them and placing them in decks and talking a bit about how these cards can affect the current build of these decks. So starting off, we have Oden. Oden is really strong, although I see this deck having problem going up against decks like Sakazuki and Gecko Moria. So its effect gives your character or 1-note trait characters plus 1k if they don't have any counters. So cards like your Oden, your 4-cost Yamato, and even your Okiku now has 1k counter. And its effect is really good because it gives itself plus 1k. So if you pair it together with 9-cost Whitebeard, then you'll have a really strong body. Next, the alternate art from the same art style of OP04 leaders. Okay, next is Izo. Effect is on screen here. So I feel this card is really good in Ace especially. Firstly because it's a Whitebeard Pirates, and also because when you're attacking you can discard a card if your leader is a Whitebeard Pirates, which Ace is. Can reduce the power of the opponent's character by 2k, which is what Ace wants to do. And it's also 5 cost. Usually 5 cost turn you will play your 5 cost Marco. But the downside of playing this is it doesn't have any counter. Whitebeard decks may not want to use this, but definitely has a place in the Oden deck here. I would say Ace and Oden would benefit from using Izo. Next is Kid and Killer, a really strong card for the red purple law decks. So a really good card. Although it doesn't have any counter, it's really powerful. Next is Koza and Arabasta card. Yeah, bad card. We need to have a better Arabasta leader to make use of this. This is trash. Next is Dormer, affiliated with the Whitebeards. That's the trait. Unless it's a pure Whitebeard, then I can see it having potential because you can play it with the Moby Dick if it becomes unbanned. Next, we have our first super rare, which is Tony Chopper. So I don't think this will see play until we get a Chopper leader. We have the manga rare for this set. We have Yamato, a really good card, a 2k counter, Wano country. Definitely seeing play in the Oden deck. Probably won't be played down. Will usually be used as 2k counter instead. Little Oz Jr. Similar effect to Marco the Phoenix, 4 cost and 5 cost. 1k counter, I can see this being played, but probably like 1 or 2 copies, not a playset. In decks like Edward Newgate, I don't think you want to play this in the Ace deck. Urusei Ko, counter effect, look at the top 5 cards. Yeah, this is for an animal team deck. I can see this being played in a Zoro deck, which is a Zoro leader with all the animal trait cards. So that is potentially the only deck this card will see play in. Oh my god, ni kateru wake ne daro. Yeah, so this card is from, I think, Water 7, right? KO one of your opponent's character whose original power is 6k. The only thing I can see this being countered to, right, is Borsalino. So usually Borsalino cannot be KO during the opponent's turn, but during the opponent's turn when they are attacking, you can use this to KO the Borsalino. Trigger effect KO 5k or less. Mini Mary number 2, bad card. Okay, now moving on to the green cards, we have Cavendish. Cavendish, I can see this being played as a 4 copy or even 3 to 4 copies in red green law on play or even on attack. If this is the only Cavendish on play, you can active 2 of your dons. Like I mentioned, red green law and even red purple Luffy, you can play it because this card requires a supernova leader trait, and maybe even in the upcoming Bonnie leader deck, this card will see play. So you definitely need 4 copies of this. Kozuki Hiyori. You trash this card and then you can play a card with Wano country with 5 cost or lower from your hand, and then you draw a card. So target would be the new pick. Yeah, which later I'll talk about the pick, and even the Kinemon from OP01. So those are some of the targets that you can play. Next is Sanji, Film Sanji. Definitely a 4 copies in Green Uta deck. This card can finally replace the green Izo. Izo is a 2k counter, and green film right now only has 1 2k counter, which is Chopper, so it's a nice card to have. Its effect is for every 3 dons that you have plus 1k. I think this card also pairs with the green and blue Zoro Sanji leader, so it's a potentially good card to be included in the deck. Next is Crashman Apu, a 1 cost 2k counter, which is Supernova also. On play, rest one of your opponent's 2 cost or lower character. I think it's fine, maybe in a red green law deck. You can just play him down to rest a blocker and then shambles him back to hand. A good card to be included. Next is Bingo. Its effect is can rest this card, then one of your opponent's cost 1 or lower, KO it. I don't think it's good. Maybe you can play this in Perona decks or even the Isho deck where you can reduce cost and then just play him to rest and then KO 1. Other than that, it being a 1-0 country could be a little tough. Bluno is a full cost blocker for film, green film. Good to have, but not really needed. Yamasan, Mr. Mountain. Probably would see play in Oden deck. That's about it. Off-white. Give your leader plus 4k power. Check the top 3 cards of your deck. If you have any Don Quixote pirates, add it to your hand. So this is a plus 4k counter plus a searcher for you. This would see play in Corazon decks or even the green-purple Doffy deck. Not really useful for those decks, for those 2 decks. Next is Shambles. So I'm not sure if this will be played at max, but I know this card could be good as a tech, not a 4-off. Yeah, but if you're a law main, you can let me know in the comments. Moving on to our blue cards. We have a Hannibal. At the end of your turn, you can return one of your character with Impel Down trait back to your hand, then you can ram 1 active Dawn. I think this will really speed up the Dawn ram, especially when you pair it with cards like Sadie. Sadie on play allows you to play another Jailer Beast, and then at the end of the turn you can return it back to hand. So your hand size will definitely be a lot, and you will also be ramping fast. So I think cards like Robin could possibly be in this deck just to get that additional draw and even further ramp. So Hannibal, I could see this being good, but not tier 1 good, maybe tier 2 or tier 1.5 good, just because it can ramp really quickly. This is the alternate art. I think it looks great. We have Magellan at the back, Sadie, Domino, and I forgot the name. Inazuma. Inazuma is specifically for the Ivankov deck. So at the end of your turn, if you have 2 cards or less, you can draw 2 cards. So typically for Ivankov, at the end of the turn, if you don't have any card, you draw 2 cards, and with this card, you will end the turn with 4 cards. Can be played off Ivankov character's effect. So Ivankov on play, you can play a 6 cost blue Impel Down character. So this will be your target. Edward Weevil. This is a really good support for blue Doffy. Just this one card alone wouldn't really help the deck, but we know that we're getting more Shichibukai support in OPO7. So this card will see play in blue Doffy decks. Definitely a 4-off. Next is we have Hamret. Hamret is a Smile character. You guys remember Smile? If you have 4 cards or less in your hand, all your character with Smile plus 1k. I think it can be easily removed. Really bad card unless you want to play a Smile deck. Bad card, don't play. Unless we get more Smile support or Smile deck. Next is Photorix. Yeah, another Smile character. 3 cost 5k. Don't play this unless you want to play a meme deck. Next is Prince Barrett. A Impel Down card, probably will be used strictly for the 2k counter. Next is Mr. Dustbones, Mr. 1. Personally, I think this guy is really good. Ignoring the fact that we have decks like Sakazuki and Gecko Moria, this is a really good card. And it combos well with one of the purple events, which we will talk about later. Its effect is if your leader is a Baroque Works trait, which is probably gonna be the blue-purple crocodile, it gets plus 1k for every 2 events. And then its on play effect is very good. On play you draw 2, discard 2. So you can discard all your events and then you will still get 1k power during either player's turn. And it doesn't need a Dawn attachment. So really powerful. I want to play this in a blue purple crocodile deck. So the whole deck will revolve around Mr. 1. So you can expect to see a deck profile of it soon when the EB01 is released. Next is Gum Gum Champion Rifle. Its effect, if your leader has the Impel Down trait, give it plus 2k, one of your leader character plus 2k, and then you can bounce one of your opponent's active character. It's your opponent choice, so they can choose to return any active character. Usually active characters will be like their searchers and stuff. So I don't think this will be that good. Wari Oreshinda, I died. I think this should be a Nami support, but not really Nami support because it's bad. I'm not sure what this is for or if there's any combo. If you know it, then just let me know in the comment. Maybe if they unban Kabaji could be good. I believe this is supposed to be Nami support, but it's really bad. Don't play this. Okay, now we are moving on to purple cards. We have Khalifa. So this is like the film cut, which I forgot the name. Picture is probably on screen now. Similar effect. Next is Army Wolf. Next is Bluno. So it basically is like a ulti and page 1. So it just gives you more character to develop your board, which I think is good because seeing that how your leader cannot attack, this card is okay. Next is Miss Wednesday. This card will only see play in purple, yellow, crocodile. Other decks won't benefit from minusing 1 Dawn and then getting 1 Dawn active. Miss Monday. Okay, this card is good. Could be good in blue, purple, crocodile because we have this event. I think it's called Secret Agent or something. It is a counter and you play a 3 cost or lower character, 3 cost or lower Baroque Works character. So this will work. Play your leader plus 1k, or one of your character or leader gets 1k. So it's a good counter. Next is Mino Chihuahua, an impel down character, very good. 4 cost, can be played down by the Sadie, and it also has the rush. If this card is KO, you can ramp 1. So really good card for impel down decks. Mr. 9, don't play this card. Okay, next is Okama Way. Yeah, this is the card that I was talking about. It pairs well with Mr. 1. When you have a lot of event in the trash, then Mr. 1 gets a lot of power, right? So it can redirect attack into that Mr. 1, making it into an 8 cost kit just for 1 attack. Okay, next we have an event for the Animal Kingdom, mainly Kaido decks. -1 Dawn, KO one of your opponent's character, 8 cost or lower. I think it's an okay card or a good card, but Purple Kaido not really seeing play right now. Maybe this card can see play in decks like Z. Moving on to Black. Black, we have Kuros Leader. You can turn the top card of your life face up, KO one of your opponent's cost 0 character. I think this is good because you have a lot of cards that can reduce characters' cost, and then you don't even have to technically pay a cost by discarding or even taking a life. All you need to do is just flip it face up, and we can even pair this with all the Celestial Dragon cards to reduce their characters' cost by a lot, and then just KOing them by flipping your life. Although it gives information to the opponent, I think having a removal like this is really good on a leader, and it can even attack. So that's a plus point. You can even play the Gorilla Coliseum along with the Black Luffy. And this is how the AA look like. I don't think I'll be playing this card, but I want to get this because the art looks really good. Next we have Crocus, a vanilla. I don't think it will see play. It's a former Rogers Pirates. Scarlet. This is what Rebecca should have been, locked to Dressrosa. Next is Spendines. So what you would do is you can use this to bring back the Rob Lucci, and this being 3 cost means you can use your Rebecca to bring him back for free, and then from him you can bring back a Rob Lucci. So really good effect. Might see play in Sakazuki or even Gecko Moria decks. Next is Fangfrit, a CP9 card. Trash card, don't play. This is Brooks. 3 cost 4k, not that good to have rush, so probably won't see any play. And then we have the SR Brook. I think this card is good, but I don't think you'll see play in Sakazuki or even Gecko Moria decks, just because it doesn't have the Thriller Bug trait. If this has Thriller Bug, then it will see play in Gecko Moria, but for now probably we have to wait for a black deck that can abuse this. But as of right now, I don't see it being used in any of the black decks. Probably won't stay on the field for too long. Not a good card. Next we have Laboon. Big boy Laboon. So you can rest this character, then one of your opponent character -4k. Similar to Kuzan, but this card doesn't need to attack, and you can use its effect immediately when played, and it also has a 1k counter. So this card, I think you want to keep this because it has the animal trait and can possibly find a place in the upcoming Chopper deck. Next is T-Bone, a really good 2k counter on play, KO one of your opponent's 2 cost or less character. And it also has the Navy trait, so it can be searched off with cards like Brand New and Tashigi. 2k counter, really good. So we'll definitely see play. If your trash has 30 cards or more, then you can heal 1. So black gets healing card right now, but the only deck I can see this being played in is probably like Rebecca or Kuros. I don't think you'll get to 30 card trash in Gecko Moria or even Sakazuki, but it could see play in CP9 decks because CP9 did trash really heavily. Yeah, so potentially in a Rob Lucci deck. Next is Finger Gun. KOing is not too good because we have most of the blocker will be like Sabo or even Borsellino, which cannot be KO'd usually, but still might see play in the CP9 Rob Lucci decks. Finally get to yellow, we have Viola. Viola is a blocker, and on play you can look at all your opponent's life and arrange them, or you can turn all your life card face down. This being Dressrosa, meaning it fits perfectly in the Kuros deck, where after you flip all your life, you can just flip it back face down. And you can even play this in the blue-yellow ace deck. When you use the effect, then you add one life card face up, right? You can just flip it face down again. And you can even combo this with black-yellow Luffy. Black-yellow Luffy essentially heal 2 if you play this after using the leader's effect. So a good card to have. Next is Gastino. So this is like a mini Sakazuki, but not that good. Next is we have Gunfall. Not that good. Next we have Charlotte Compote, which is a vanilla. I think we already have a 7-9 vanilla for Big Mom Pirates, right? Next is Charlotte Frampe. This will definitely see play. It's really good. You can add the top card of your life, draw 1 card. If you play this in blue yellow ace, it's a draw 2 card on play, and then you can recycle her back with Overheat. Next is Shirahoshi. When this card is KO'd by opponent's effect, you can heal 1 and it's a blocker. So this card is good, but I'm not sure where this will see play. Perhaps in black yellow Luffy, maybe. Trade is Fishman, and I don't think any decks have a slot to play this. Next we have Mont Blanc Cricket. Yeah, this card is trash. Okay, next we have Thunder Welcome, Raigo. This is an annual event card. So this card speeds up maybe your black Luffy deck, so you can quickly use your leader's effect. I think it's okay, but really tough. But if you are at 1 life, right, then the cost is essentially free. You are paying 6 Dawn to KO any character. Next is I Am God. I'm God, right? Yeah. So similar to the previous effect, you can trash your life until you have 1, and then you can play 1 Annal from your hand or trash. So if you play this on your turn 2 going second, you essentially have a 7 cost character with Rush during your second turn, but also you will go down to 1 life. Could see play in black yellow Luffy or even in Annal deck himself. So I think it's an okay card. Finally, we have our last secret rare card, which is Bond Clay. Bond Clay effect is on play, you can ramp 1 active Dawn. So this card would see play in decks like Red Purple Law, because you can use Law's effect to cheat him out. And you can also play this in your purple yellow Crocodile or your blue purple Crocodile. Its effect is on attack. You can choose one of your opponent's character power, and then it becomes the same power as that character. I don't think you will see him attacking. Usually when he's on the board, probably will get removed as soon as possible, especially if you're going up against Sakazuki or Gecko Moria. So that's all the cards that is revealed. In total, there's only 61 cards in the whole set, and I will be doing a box opening probably next week or the week after. And that's all for this video. If you've enjoyed this video or find it helpful, subscribe and like this video. Also follow me on Twitter for more One Piece TCG content. And tomorrow I'll be streaming the Osaka Regionals, so feel free to join. I will link that in the description as well. And also thank you for watching this video. I'll see you tomorrow. That's all for this video. Bye.